Hello, Illusioners. Today we have another video. It's been a while. I've been really busy as of late. I haven't been making much content, but and I didn't forget about the podcast. I am gonna upload the episodes. I uploaded the teaser a couple of weeks ago now. I think a week or two ago now, and it's beginning to get a bit of traction. And thank you for the views for that the teaser's gotten. But today I wanted to be here to react to the new TFT set dev video dropped today, and it's gonna be a music-based set. I did read about this, and by the way, I was gonna react to the Heartsteel band music video and stuff like that because I love them and the skins and the champions that they picked for it was so perfect set. I feel it was so much great champions chosen for that. It's just so good. I couldn't react to it. I wanted to upload a reaction, but I just watched it on my own time with my friends and stuff, and we talked about it and stuff like that too. We all loved it pretty much. But we were here today to watch this TFT set, and I'm kind of interested to see what we're gonna get. I wonder if we're gonna get like the Hearthstone skins in it, or we can get some new skins, some new champions maybe that TFT set exclusive. Who knows? But we're gonna watch now.
Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Whitrock, design lead for our newest set, which I'm excited to introduce today. We're calling this set, drumroll please, Remix Rumble.
Remix Rumble, alright.
We've got a full playlist today, so I'll open with gameplay and then pass it to the rest of the lineup to chat music, cosmetics, ranked, and more.
Cool.
We'll also jump backstage at a few points to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how different parts of Remix Rumble came together. All right, let's jump right into the bands. And by bands, I mean traits.
Oh, that's cool. It's all gonna be different music-based stuff.
In Remix Rumble,
I'm sure we're gonna see
you're
like
the DJ,
KDA and
the board is your turntable.
And true
By
damage and
combining
all these cool
different
stuff
traits,
in it.
you'll create a medley of beats and genres. Let's start with familiar chart toppers, beginning with the ultimate pop stars, KDA.
Oh, Kennen.
Get the entire lobby bumping with KDA and their most dedicated super
new skins for like Lilia and Nina and
them just so,
I'm just
and
tripping.
You'll find yourself at the performance of a lifetime, with incredible choreography and a bunch of bonus stats. Okay, let's make like a collie and hop over to the next band.
Oh,
True
the current
Damage
damage.
and Pentakill are also in the mix.
Nice,
and both stay true to their names. True Damage grants extra attack speed. Wait, that can't be right. This is more like it. True Damage members are all about style and will gain a unique bling bonus that'll power them up as you itemize them. Oh, and before you ask, a collie will be able to be played in KDA or True Damage.
That's cool.
Her trait will change based on whichever band is trending at the time. All right, metalheads.
That's kind of cool.
Pentakill's up next. Pentakill members have damage reduction and bonus damage that increases as they score kills. And if your team manages to get a Pentakill, then their bonuses will increase again.
I like a Ken Cox in the back.
In
They look so cool.
mosh pit.
Oh my god.
Then there's Heartsteel.
Fresh
off their
boys.
debut and already making their mark on the convergence. These guys are ready to bring the energy and do whatever it takes for their fans. They may have started out underground, but they're certainly able to take you to the top of the charts and the lobby if you can conquer their risky style. But we can't put on a proper Remix Rumble with only 4 bands. We also have some all-new groups entering the convergence. With original TFT looks, Lulu and Ziggs make up the jittery, ridiculous, hyperpop duo Glitter Bomb.
What?
Speaking of original TFT skins, Remix Rumble has plenty. There's a whole new class, super fans,
high voices and
who
stuff
show
like that.
off
That's
their
so
fandom
crazy.
with style. The trait pumps up your headliner, more on that later, by turning one or more
this is
of
so
their
crazy.
items into radiant
I love
items.
this.
My personal favorite new look is Bard, who has joined the jazz trio Free Flow.
What?
He and his meeps are looking as
No
smooth
way.
as they sound.
It'd be crazy to
Before
make
I
some
get
of these
into the
little bands.
mechanics, let's head backstage to learn more
So
about
they do
how
have
we made
original
some
stuff
of
for
these
TFT.
traits
This is cool. This
with
is another
Alex
cool
Cole
thing. I love how
and
they
one of
do
our
more original stuff for
lesser-known
TFT.
devs.
That's really dope. Like, give us new bands and new music and
We
stuff
knew
like
set
that.
10 was
Like,
going to
that's
be our
cool.
big music set. So when we think back of kind of like what the steps were, we knew we were going to have this big music moment. We were celebrating 10 sets of TFT, which was going to be huge. And really, we just kind of leaned right in and we were like, cool, we know we're going to do all of these cool origins. And then we go through the process of what skin lines do we have available that we can tie those to. And luckily, we had a ton of cool and groovy skin lines. And we played with them a little bit with like Space Groove becoming disco and some stuff like that. But yeah, we were pretty quick to just turn right in and be like, oh, wow, we have tons of things to pull from, which is really exciting.
So I'm pretty excited about Heartsteel. The economy trait is always a fan favorite of ours, but we've had this problem for a long time where the economy trait is you get it at 2-1 or you don't really play it. And so this time we took a very clear goal of how do you play it if you don't hit it at 2-1? And so what you can do is you can play it at any point in the game, and the more you've got, the bigger the payout. You try to lose by just a little bit, but even if you win, you're still going to be getting those fan, and then it's going to cash out after a few turns. And so you can even pivot into it in the late game, and I think that's going to be a real skill-expressive part of the game, is that ability to go, okay, I'm in a position where I can play Heartsteel for a few turns,
music
and
anyway,
then get my reward, and then pivot back, and I think that's going to lead to a lot of really cool skill-expressive moments.
Nice.
My favorite trait this set is definitely the country trait, which features
country, the high noon.
Historically in TFT, we've done a lot of really cool things with summon traits. We did Baron this last set, we did Innovator in set 6, and I'm really excited for country to join those ranks. So with country, we have something called the Midnight Horse, which is Hecarim, and when your champions sort of get lower or lose health,
cool, interesting way to use
ride
high
in and save the
noon.
day. So operating a little bit like Galio from set 4, if players remember that one. So I think the challenges with these two is we kept trying to find the identity for each of them, and they ended up being really intertwined with each other. So there was a day where myself, Whitrock, the set lead, and Mort literally sat down and mapped out the entire set on a whiteboard. I don't remember who it was, but one of us was just like, oh, we don't have a summon trait. And we kind of played around with that. And on the flip side, we were also playing around with, like,
how they keep like these summon type
have our
traits,
econ trait be one of the main verticals? Like, is that something we want to do or try? Which is really exciting. And we ended up going with it and kind of seeing those two traits in particular, like kind of kept going back and forth and changing shape with each other. But we were happy with how it all landed. Yeah, I would say it's pretty clear on this team that I'm probably the biggest Ahri stan around. So KDA being in the set is a huge, exciting moment for me.
Especially if the people and the fans who love KDA and stuff like that, like Heartsteel, they're gonna gravitate towards this set more than ever.
When deciding which mechanics to include in
like just seeing the
Rumble,
skins in the TFT set make them want to, you know, try the game, and that's
from
cool.
past sets, starting with Runeterra Reforged. Portals are making a comeback.
Nice.
They'll have
I do
a
like
bit
portals
less
this set.
impact than some of the wilder ones from last set. We can do without you, Stillwater Hold, but they're sure to continue creating memorable moments. We won't be bringing back Legends for Remix Rumble.
Okay.
We learned a lot from seeing how Legends could influence the meta and individual enjoyment of the set.
I like how they're
so
trying
we
something
feel
new
like there's
each,
more
set,
exploration and
each
experimentation to be done in this space before we potentially revisit it, but we'll keep you updated along the way.
Okay, that's cool.
Back to what we are bringing back. One of TFT's most beloved mechanics is returning in an updated way. No, not augments, although we will be introducing new augments for Remix Rumble as well.
Okay.
I'm talking about headliners, our fresh take on the chosen mechanic from Fates. Headliners are the star of your board. They appear occasionally in shops and are purchased at 2 stars. Headliners have tons of immediate power, and they give you +1 to one of their traits. But here's where headliners diverge from chosen. Each one will have a specific headliner effect that empowers them in a way that only a true fan would appreciate. Take Bard from the Jazz Trio, who improvises a few notes to either heal an ally or deal a bit of damage.
Animation.
When Bard is your headliner, every 10 casts will generate a meep that allows him to play 1 extra note on his first cast of combat. Bard is the type of headliner that will scale into the endgame. Whether that scale is major or minor depends on how early you can get.
Doing healing and some
headliners
DPS.
will be difficult to find endgame carries. Take Yorick, a legendary unit who temporarily summons ghouls.
Oh my god, that's a lot
When
of
this
ghouls.
headbanger is your headliner,
oh
the
my
ghouls will be
goodness,
bigger
OP.
and deal more damage.
And there's a big ghoul right there.
And one more thing about our mechanics. All of them will be harmonizing together. So keep an eye and an ear out for that. All right,
that's really cool.
Let's check back in with Alex and Mort to talk more about headliners.
Yeah. This is looking pretty interesting.
So early on, when we were exploring the different mechanics, we knew we were doing a music theme. And so we kind of had this image where it's like, okay, the band is all on there together, but what is it that makes it special? How can we twist it? And we kept coming back to, it's like, well, who's singing at the moment? Who's the star of the show, if you will? And that kind of led us to a system we call Headliner, which was like, okay, you're going to pick who your headliner is. And we kept coming up with versions that were slightly different than Chosen, but had a lot of the same advantages. Chosen was one of our first big mechanics that wasn't just like galaxies or a variation. And it was something that allowed every champion to kind of be the centerpiece, right? Like you would tell stories of, oh, this was the game I got Silas chosen and I did this thing, or this was the game I got Kennen chosen. But what was interesting is as we were kind of researching it, we realized that was before a lot of these other mechanics, right? Augments hadn't been around. And so a lot of the burden of the system has changed. And so as we were looking at this and kind of seeing all the pieces come together, it felt like kind of a greatest hits of TFT, which once we realized that was such a great opportunity to bring it all together.
Hey, like music.
And so that's when we kind of anchored on Headliner being sort of the upgraded Chosen.
That's kind of cool.
You know, we've got Radiant items, augments, portals, and it really does sort of feel like 10 sets worth of TFT knowledge all coming together to make this really awesome set.
A lot of them.
I think with the Headliner mechanic, players will be most excited about the champ fantasies that it unlocks. So whether you are a player that really loves re-rolling those 1 or 2 costs, or you're a player that likes those 4 cost carry fantasies, Headliner allows you to do any direction you want every game, and unlocks a lot of variation, which is exciting. These are things that we never predict coming in, like what is the built different comp of this set? Like what are the combinations that we during production have no idea are coming, that we see videos of at 2 a.m. From China, and we're like, wow, that's amazing, I can't believe they came up with this idea.
Those cool combinations that keep you coming back and have an exciting payoff, I think is always what we're looking for when we're making new sets. It's like, what is the cool next thing to try out?
The music itself, yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Cole Hicks, lead composer of Remix Rumble, and I'm here to talk about the heart of this set, the music. In Remix Rumble, each trait brings new sounds to your board. While you're building your team, you're building your track. Remix Rumble was an all-hands-on-deck moment for our team. Many different composers and collaborators created original music for each origin trait, and made it possible for all of it to meld together in any combination based on whichever units you have out on your board. To make genres like metal sound seamless with, say, jazz or pop, we wrote 2 main songs. Through a mix of layers that contain drums, chords, and melodies, your track will be built alongside your team. And as the game progresses, your track will too. Starting off one way during the preparation phase, and building up to a more complex chorus for the battle. Let me show you an example of how all this will look and sound, starting with our disco band, the Disco Knots. Their trait gives you a placeable disco ball that will heal your allies and grant them attack speed. As you get later into the game, you can add in more Disco Knots to strengthen the trait. Then you could add in a destructive splash of pentakill for a killer guitar solo, soaring over it all. Now let's talk a bit about the tracks we wrote.
Interesting.
For groups like KDA and Pentakill that already exist in the League IP, we tried to capture their instrumental essence with some TFT twists. And we brought in new genres like 8-bit and country, but more on those later. We also made sure powerful units like Jhin got their moment in the spotlight. For Maestro, Jin's legendary trait, we mixed in a Paganini-esque violin solo to create a modern interpretation of classical music, fit for the virtuoso himself. This sound was the perfect fit for a trait that deals extra damage to tactician health and a champion whose ability builds up in a cadenza of damage. By putting out different units on your board, you'll create a symphony of controlled chaos. Try combining the relentless drums of Pentakill with our harpsichord-heavy emo band, Big Sad. Or maybe as your comp changes, you'll create music that features the bass of true damage alongside the groovy horn section of Disco Knots. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's so cool.
That's just TFT. All right, let's head backstage with the team for a quick recording session.
That sounded great.
That's great, man.
That sounded great, like alone. I'm pretty sure that wasn't even like the full thing.
Moving on. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's move on.
The fact they do all this in house is
I think one
so
of the challenges
cool.
of working on this set is
Why is
the
this more than a
multiple
game
genres
company at
and
this
how
point? They
they're
really are
gonna
like
be
an
remixed
entertainment
into one another.
art company.
There are a total of, I believe, 10 to 12 genres. Some of them more bespoke than others because it's based on our virtual band. But all of this are being done by 7 composers together. So this is the biggest collaboration within Riot composers that we have done for Teamfight Tactics.
Nice. Oh, the violins.
Authenticity
So
is both a goal and a challenge. Because we're doing so many different genres, and some of them have a fair amount of crossover as far as types of sounds and things that we're using. For example, we're doing a DJ Sona genre, but we also have a straight like EDM genre. And so you almost have to really lean into the things that might be different about those two things. Like we have this established thing that Riot has done versus a genre that already exists. And really kind of leaning into some of the more expected things that players are going to want to be hearing.
How do we make it so that each of our elements actually stand out in a way that right away an audience would be able to be like, oh, like they're doing this punk rock thing without getting it confused with Pentakill, right? A metal band. They both use guitars, they both use drums, they both use bass. How are those genres being executed differently and is able to be recognized?
Yeah, I guess
by
that
our
is like a
players
tough
right
line
away?
to
KDA is another example of like what it's not just what are the things that make it sound like KDA, it's what are the things that make it sound like KDA if just the drums are playing or if just the chords are playing.
Interesting. They're really putting it all into this.
One of the cool things about this set is that
actually, like,
it is
wow.
supposed to be a bit crazy sometimes.
I mean,
so
they
we were
do
able to
like
sort of
all the
like
sets for the most
lean
part,
into
but,
it,
like,
being like, oh, that
like
sounds
the
a bit
music and
silly.
stuff.
Yeah, and
like,
some
you know.
surprising things came
Yeah.
out that were
So cool.
really cool. Like, for example, I think we discovered that saxophone solo over Heartsteel is very cool. We have also discovered that a violin solo on top of Jason's EDM track is very cool.
Very cool. And we would have never made those choices as composers.
Normally,
Normally,
right.
it's okay to lean into the silliness sometimes because it is a fun idea and it's supposed to be fun.
Right.
Whereas other genres obviously will work in a way where you're like, oh, that's like, I would put that on my playlist and listen to it.
Yeah. For us, the collaboration is a little chaotic, and I think that's also us embracing that energy of like, we're not entirely sure if this is gonna work, and we're just kind of, you know, like riding with the flow and write what we believe in, and then we come together and let's hear how this is gonna go.
TFT is the space where, as a composer, I get to play around the most and, you know, basically try whatever fun ideas I might have. The team is very open to experimentation. So from that perspective, even though it is a fair amount different than anything we've done in TFT before,
Like the work they did and
I
they
think
put into
TFT
the
is
music
a perfect
alone is
place
like
to do it.
insane
I
to
think
me.
the players of TFT are also really on board with these kinds of fun ideas.
100%.
Hi everyone, I'm Ananda Gupta, Design Director on TFT. Today, I'm here to give an update on cosmetics, and then I'll talk about Ranked, as well as a much anticipated release for many of our players, the Asia Pacific mobile launch. We're thrilled to bring more high-quality personalization that will be released throughout the start of Remix Rumble. Ahead of that, we want to give you a sneak peek and equip you with an understanding of the release schedule, both to prepare collectors as well as inform folks who want to nab their favorite. Chibi Set and Chibi Heartsteel Set have entered the building, and they're looking to pull off a heist straight
especially
to
the
top of
hearts
lobby.
at one. Oh my god.
Chibi Heartsteel Set moves fast and will depart the treasure realms after the first 2 weeks of Remix Rumble.
That's so cool.
And if you want more, the KDA Arena is definitely more. Drop your comp smack dab in the middle of a KDA show and take top 4, or bottom 4. It won't matter with an arena this stunning. After 2 weeks, Chibi KDA Akali will screech onto the scene. Then, the moment I've been waiting for, KDA Kaisa will hit the convergence 3 weeks into the set. She and KDA Akali will be available through Treasure Realms that will only last until our next event. Each drop will provide high-value content
Yeah, I hope
from chibis to mythic
Fennec will
little
get
legends,
something
and
in
even a chance to
chibi.
hit a
That'd be
random
cool.
chibi variant like Dragonmancer Ash or Star Guardian Lux. But the biggest high roll of those collector capsules is KDA Kaisa. Kaisa is the centerpiece for players looking to flaunt that extra special drop.
She looks so
But Prestige Treasure Realms are full of high-value offerings from past sets. So, whether you're a collector looking to pick up something you missed, or a little Legend enthusiast just getting your first chibi, no matter what you hit, it's bound to hit hard. After Remix Rumble ships, we've got even more work ahead of us. We know players want more say in what they purchase, and we're working towards exactly that in a system we're internally calling the Seasonal Store. We're not quite ready to go into the finer details yet, but I am ready to get into Remix Rumble's pass. Remix Rumble marks our transition to 3 sets a year, and we're updating our pass structure to reflect that. We'll still have 2 passes in every set, but since sets now last 4 months, each pass will be 2 months long. So, we're redistributing rewards and accelerating pass progression to make all the rewards easier to obtain. Not every pass will look the same. Each Pass Plus will have different high-value rewards. For example, you'll see our new Neon Stage Arena in Remix Rumble's first pass, and in the Rumble second half,
switch in like different goons and stuff and switch out different stuff.
And just as our pass is changing to accommodate 3 sets a year, our ranked season is also changing.
Okay, ranked improvements, alright. I'm currently at Silver Tier, I believe.
To our ranked
trying to get the gold.
It'll add more climbing room, while also recognizing the skill progression that players show between Platinum and Diamond. This comes at the perfect time as we transition to creating 3 sets a year, and 3 ranked seasons to go with them. Without mid-sets, there's no soft reset of your rank throughout the season, so you'll have more time to track your progress on the expanded ladder, prove your skill, and get new Emerald rewards. We're not looking to make the climb harder. Emerald and a longer season should mean a smoother, more consistent climb overall. We know TFT is a more chaotic game than League, and we don't want to punish or reward you too much for performance outliers. You can play great and still low roll in TFT, and our ranked system should and will reflect that. Okay, before you get too excited and queue up for ranked, let's chat mobile. The launch of Remix Rumble in late November will be the first time TFT is available on mobile in APAC regions. And we're shipping a number of improvements along with this launch that will impact the entire world. But first, I want to thank our APAC players for their patience. We've been working towards bringing mobile to you since we launched it during Galaxies, and we know that you've awaited its arrival ever since. In preparation for this launch, our Tools and Engine team has been hard at work making mobile usability, stability, and performance improvements. And for the tablet players out there, one of these improvements is tablet support. Come Remix Rumble, you can say goodbye to the black bars and wonky scaling when playing on tablet, and hello to a smoother, prettier, tablet-tailored experience. We've seen a ton of anticipation for TFT Mobile.
I mean, play on tablet, I'll play on my phone and laptop, so.
And we can't wait to kick it all off with Remix Rumble. So, APAC players, make sure to pre-register for our launch, as we'll be offering multiple pre-registration milestone rewards, from treasure tokens to a new little legend, Boba Tea.
Oh, Boba Tea, that's so cute.
And if you're not in APAC, don't worry, this little sprite will eventually be available to everyone.
Okay, cool.
Was that the last Boba?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
I put him on both right now, too.
Hey, everyone. Sherman back to talk about all things TFT esports. It's been awesome to see the growth of TFT esports over the last few sets. We've seen 3 sets of steady viewer growth for set championships, and with the Runeterra Reforged Championship, we're hoping to make it 4. We're about 5 weeks out from our first global LAN event, the TFT Vegas Open. It'll be from December 8th through the 10th, with 512 competitors from around the world as they take over the MGM Grand. I first want to say that we were blown away by how quickly competitor passes sold out back in September. And we can't wait to see you battle it out there. The event happens early in Remix Rumble,
they have like a full
testing players' ability to adapt, innovate, and lead the meta. This is a moment where players from anywhere can step into the spotlight and become IRL headliners. The player that comes out on top will walk away with $100,000, a trophy, and most importantly, the TFT Vegas Open title. And even if you don't get first, the 128 players who make it to day 2 will win a piece of the $300,000 prize pool. And all 512 players who participate in the event will get a unique emote based on how far they make it into the tournament. But don't worry, the Vegas Open won't be a replacement for a championship. Now that we've switched over to 3 sets a year, we're adjusting to have a competitive season for each one. So rest assured there will be a Remix Rumble Championship at the end of the set. It'll be the culmination of Remix Rumble, so we have high expectations for the comps players will bring to the finals, now that they've had a chance to master the set. For those of you competing in Vegas, PvE goes live the second week of November, so get out there and start crafting your go-to comps. As for everyone else, we're super excited for our first ever LAN event, and we hope to see you all there, either in person or digitally. All right, thanks so much for watching. Good luck and have fun out there. Till next time.
Cool stuff. I very love that. I can't wait to try it all out whenever I have the chance to. Yeah, I like the set just looks really cool. They had given a lot of attention to detail, especially since like they have all these like music like type of skins, the skin lines, KDA, Pentakill, well recently Heartsteel, stuff like that. And true damage of course also. People do need to give more love to true damage. I feel like people didn't give it enough of a chance, but I love true damage. But yeah, like I'm just so excited, like the dedication to like the music, to like new trades, them like trying out new stuff. Can't wait to try it and go through like the new rank system also. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about it. Are you guys excited for the new set? I pretty am myself. So I'm gonna see y'all later, and peace. Bye bye.